Just because I'm used to
Just
be,
because I'm Sam Fender's
just
bestie.
because I was a celebrity once, Kevin, once upon a time, yeah. You've never
Nobody.
been fucking nothing in your dink little life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to All the Pies. My name's Si. That useless, never been nothing, good for nothing, late ass motherfucking mug is Kev, and this is the transfer rumors and gossip show. Woo! Who's it going to be? Well, you can tell by the thumbnail that I've pinched from a horrible, awful newspaper. What the main thing's going to be, but could there be some other stuff, some other mega news of titanic world-beating players that could be coming to Newcastle United? Let's fucking find out.
God, he scored so many goals.
Celebrity.
Late boy. I had this. I've got a new green screen hanging up here that attaches to my other green screen. Because I care a lot about the channel. I've got a new light, brand new light up there. Everything looking fine, waiting. Kev, oh yeah, we'll record at 7:00, 2:07. Oh, I've got to do something, make tea time, whatever. So now all the color coding's fucked up on the green screen, and I've had to change it back to the old settings where parts of me will probably disappear and shit. So thanks for that.
You were never a celebrity.
I'm gonna drink. I've got 83,000 followers on Facebook, Kevin.
Nobody's ever celebrated anything you've ever done.
I've
You're not a
celebrated stuff
celebrity.
I've done.
Have you been asked to go on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
Loads of times? Oh, say no. I'm not eating balls.
And then you go off to your room and eat balls.
Yeah. What you been doing, little mug?
Not much. Just boring, isn't it? When the football during the week.
My life's one constant source of activity where I'm constantly getting job offers and messages off other fellow celebrities going, "How you doing, mate? Want to catch up? Fancy going to Broadway to see that show about that thing?" And I'm like, "Oh, can't today." Doing all the pies, but yeah.
Where them celebrities from? Sorry,
all over the world.
Was that an Australian celebrity there?
All over the world, all over, Kev. My accent, just like my fan base, is global.
Varied and
Well,
questionable.
let's do a little celebrity nod here, Mr. NA29 finest. No, not me, obviously. The second NA29 finest. No, not Sean Longstaff. The third NA29 finest, Mr. Sam Fender, is doing his gigs at St James's Park, sold out gigs tomorrow night and Saturday night. So good luck to him. Don't need to say good luck to him on the video. I wish good luck to him in person the other day. I was having a chat with him like I do quite often. Not saying he's a mate. I'm mates with his brother, but I do know him to talk to. But this is really funny, this bit. So Joel, as you know, my son, has never got his picture taken with Sam. He's never been about. Bella and Rebecca have had it done a couple of times. He's probably getting sick of them pestering him. But Joel had never had his picture taken with him. So we saw him that day when we were going to the shop. I'm like, right, how are you then? We'll go around and ask him. And anyway, we got there. Sam goes to Joel as if he knows him. Hello, Ronaldo, or hello, son, or something along those lines. Turns out Sam Fender has met Joel many times. In fact, whenever Joel's out kicking the football around and Sam's past him, he passes the football back and forward with him. He goes, and then Sam goes, "Do you not remember that time I told you to teach us some cool tricks? And if I thought any of them were proper mint, I'd give you a tenner." And I was like, "That was you." I was like, "You came back in the house and you went, some man's just give us a tenner for showing us some tricks." I was like, I got my daughter to go outside, look, there might be a nonce on the loose. And it was Sam who would give the bairn a tenner for doing some tricks. So yeah, but I need to show this video, right? I'm going to tag all the people who are in it because I don't know who the actual singer is. But me, the band, and Sam are standing outside of a certain place. I'm not going to name where we are. I don't want to dox anybody. But there was a guy inside the venue singing one of Sam Fender's songs, and this video is doing the rounds on socials, and it shows my children. I'm not seen. I'm kind of out of view, but I'll just show this video.
I'm only getting started. Don't mean to be too shy. Felt like giving up so many times.
The kid probably had no idea that he's singing one of Fender's songs, and outside Sam Fender's talking to a 9-year-old about who's his favourite footballers and that. And Joel was more interested in showing Sam how much he paid for a bottle of Prime at the shop that was next door. A tenner, if anyone's interested. My son paid £10 for a bottle of Prime because apparently it was a limited edition one. Didn't even drink it, so that was minging. Poured it out, filled it with water, so he could take it to school and brag that he'd got the limited edition Prime.
Well, me, Sam Fender, my best friend. Not that it's a competition, Simon.
I think that's his best friend. I would say I think he probably looks up to us. I was giving him advice about the gig because obviously I've played, supported some of the biggest names in comedy. Do you know what I mean? Frankie Boyle and that. So I don't want to say that I've peaked probably and done bigger performances than what he's about to do, but I certainly give him some tips about how to deal with it and how to because he's done the pyramid stage at Glasgow, which is now compared to the Stand Comedy Club or the Dog and Frocket in Swalwell. So give him some tips about how to cope.
Does he give any tips on how to avoid hair loss? Yeah, not as a competition or anything, Si, but I once worked for a well-known supermarket brand, which I'll not mention, but it's not just any supermarket. And the one and only Peter Beardsley asked me where the breaded chicken was, and I took him to it. I asked him for a photo, and he said no.
Good stuff.
So beat that.
Do you remember that time we were drinking in the salsa club and we saw Peter Beardsley and I went running out after him?
Yeah, chased him down the street, shouting Peter like you knew him. Peter! Peter! Imagine, that's what's happened with Sam Fender, isn't it? That's what's happened. You've sat at the window waiting for him to walk past, right? Hide the pen out with the football. I went, Thumb! Get the pen a tenner, I'm starving.
If it works, it works. If it works, it works.
This is a football podcast now.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the football?
Yeah, on that note, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you feeling ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, you fucking ready.
Okay, let's go.
What flavour Pepsi is that?
It's Pepsi Max Mango. It's actually lush. I don't normally go for the flavoured colas. And
Colad.
No. Whatever I said. I don't normally go
for the flavour coolads.
I thought I said something wrong. Right, let's cut that out. As we do it, get something zingy, fruity, and new when she was at the shop the other day. That was exact instructions. She came back with Pepsi Max Mango, and I looked really like she'd let us down in life. I was like, it's not.
I don't know. She's hitting the brief for that, like.
I meant something like this, like a rhubarb and apple that I've got. But anyway, tried it, bloody lovely. So now, every time she goes to the shop, she brings us a bottle back. Which is nice.
Very nice,
yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say she's hit the brief. Should we start with football?
Football, I will. But before we do, I'm going to get the old screen Rooney up. It's football related. It's not transfer rumour related, but it's football related. A friend of mine, Davy Craig, is doing these Henny the Pooh hand-painted watercolours. This one's for the Bruno's Magic Hat campaign that's going on now. And it's also to do as part of the Felt Out charity night. Now, Davey is going to be coming on. Apologies, I was meant to be filming with him today, but I fell asleep. So apologies, Davey. Davey is coming on to do my favourite 11, and also Feltnout is another previous guest that we've had on. Lee Kyle, who done my favourite 11, is part of the team that runs Feltnout. And also Raoul Coley is the one, I think, who's organised this gig. So it all kind of ties in to guests past and present from all the pies. So yeah, this now is on auction. If you just type in or go to Twitter and look for, I'll put a link in the description because I don't know where you'll find, because you can bid on these pictures, hand painted. I think the auctions are £100 so far, and all the money goes for a great charity, help that young laddie. So yeah, Henny the Pooh. I'll put the link in the description. Go check it out. Worthwhile cause. Now, transfer rumours. This is the thumbnail. Let's get it out the way. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Karim Benzema. They apparently, I'm sick of hearing how there's a way that these players are all going to end up in a black and white shirt in the Champions League for us this season. There are apparently here that it says there are no rules to stop the Toon from bringing in one or all of the superstars on loan if they all go to Saudi clubs, which is looking likely. I think Ronaldo's already there. I think has Benzema already signed?
Yeah, I believe so. Aye.
And then probably Messi. I'd imagine that's where Messi would go.
Oh no, he's already said he's not going there. He's going into Miami. He's already said that's where he's going.
Is he? Well,
aye. So we'll have to make do with Benzema and Ronaldo.
Oh, is that it? I don't want Ronaldo.
I don't want Ronaldo.
I
saw this. Sorry. Yeah, God, yeah, you take Benzema. But look, well, number one, it's the sun.
It wasn't just from the sun that was only. It was the only that had all three in the title, because I didn't want to click from page to page to page to deal with this nonsense. I just wanted to get it out of the way, as the screen, as their thumbnail for this video will show what my thoughts are of these three joining.
Look, we'll talk about it. I'll have a talk about it because when I saw the story did break that the PIF had bought those 4 Saudi Arabian clubs and that they were going to be signing Benzema, I'd said tongue in cheeky, could you imagine if they sent him to Newcastle on loan? And it did get us thinking. I was like, have they just come across a massive loophole there, or is there something stopping this? Would Man City not have done this already? Like, can you just own another club in Saudi Arabia and go out and buy Mbappe for 300 million and just say, "Oh, we're going to send you on loan to that other club that we own"?
Is a team? Is it a championship team? Is it Watford who do it with another? I can't remember. There is another.
Oh, I know people own like number of clubs. I know Man City owns a number of clubs and sends players on loan around the place. But when you're talking about then signing the world's top stars, and I'm not saying I know Benzema's old and Messi's coming towards the end of his career, so is Ronaldo, and for me, it's just them going over there for a payday, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think this probably more falls under the sports wash criteria rather than the loan to Newcastle criteria. But it was fun to think about. I was like, could you imagine just signing like whoever they wanted and send for these clubs and send them on over to Newcastle? Imagine how hated it would be.
Right. Apparently, it's completely legal here. Yeah? It's completely legal and within the rules. But what I prefer, because I don't want to see these old stars at Newcastle. I don't. But what I would like to see is like some of the Saudi teams like spending like 20 million on Jeff Hendricks for Jamal Lewis 40 million, and you know what I mean. That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
We can send Garang Kual on there with a 40 million loan fee for the season. Tick 2 boxes there, don't you?
Yeah. I'd give them Ryan Fraser. Can't stand the lad,
but yeah, it does raise a few eyebrows. And will you think that'll, like, even though I don't think it will happen, do you think the Premier League might start going, oh, actually, shit, we better put some rules in place here? Because although I don't think it's going to happen, what is actually going to stop them from doing that?
I don't think it would be easy, because then I think it would affect the whole footballing pyramid. So it would have to be a law with loads of subsections in it.
Yeah, but it's an odd one, isn't it? I mean, look at Man City. I've already said Man City's owners, they own loads of clubs and they share the players about. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't think that is going to happen. I literally think, they're buying these clubs. And I read somewhere, I don't know how true it is, what is it, 400 million a season they're paying Benzema?
I don't know what's true. You read
Can't be, man.
And again, we haven't reiterated so far. This is just a transfer rumor and gossip show by two knackers. We are not in the know. We don't claim to be in the know. We will never be in the know. It's just a little bit of fun during the off season. So please don't go, oh, there's no way bloody fucking Benzema's going to play. What's going to happen to Isak? I love Isak. I don't want Benzema. We're not saying it's going to happen. Chill out.
Well, you can say that, but if you're going to say that, just say it in the comments section, please.
Yeah, so we'll boost the. We'll do it on Twitter. I'll just ignore you on Twitter or say horrible things. Do it in this comment section, please.
Yeah.
Right, one
definitely going to happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's some controversy. Definitely going to happen. So fuck all you other channels that say it isn't.
I've got an uncle who lives in Jihad in Saudi Arabia, and he works on the board for Al Khalifi, and he said it's definitely happening that they're going to sign Mbappe and send him over to Newcastle on loan, official.
That's a fact. By Kevin of all the pies. Right, the one that we missed, this rumor became very prevalent about an hour after we released last week's transfer rumor and gossip. It's Yankuba Minta.
Yeah, it's small fee as well, in the region of 6 or 7
million. Yeah,
5.8.
What it says about him is that he's a winger. That's all I know.
One of them.
Is he Gambian? I think he's Gambian.
Plays in Denmark though, doesn't he?
Plays in Denmark, but I believe
and he didn't play in the last game, which by all accounts was meant to be an important game for them. And some were saying it was because of the interest from Newcastle United. Why he wouldn't play, I don't know. Why wouldn't he play? Maybe he's had a fallout. Maybe he's just injured. But he's definitely one for the future, I think. I don't think he would be getting any game time next season if he did play for it. He'd probably maybe find himself on loan. But yeah, I mean, these are the type of acquisitions that Dan Ashworth makes. And it looks like a Dan Ashworth signing, doesn't it? And I think Jamie Rubin was quoted. He was at some sort of do that posh rich people, can't he? Must be nice.
What, the one where they all take off the human skin and the lizard form comes out, and they all start doing each other. That kind of.
No, that was at the coronation. This was just a charity do. So no, and he turned round and I think his quotation was, "We need to make our pound stretch further or be more impactful," or something along those things. Basically saying, in a nutshell, that they were wanting to make a few cheap signings to watch them like sort of develop and grow and that is a very Dan Ashworth type of thing to do.
Well,
and I'm buzzing to see it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say as well. Obviously, it's not one for now. It doesn't say whether he's Gambian. It keeps mentioning African, but obviously, it's not such country as Africa. It's a continent. No offense, Geordie Boot Boys, who wrote the article. But I'm sure he is Gambian. But yeah, it is definitely the Ashworth formula, because this season, how many times have we looked at Brighton, like halfway through a season they'll just chuck in a brand new player and who just happened to then be a world beater. Like, where the fuck did he come from? So it's obviously what they've done, Ashworth and his scouting crew. And yes, I'm a bloody fan of it. And
I am a fan of it, but what we don't need to do that Brighton are doing is put 35 million buyout clauses for players that are worth a lot more than that.
Fucked up there, like, isn't they?
I couldn't believe that's 35 million for McAllister.
Scoop of the season. That won't be beaten.
Aye, that's probably going to be the scoop of the season in terms of value for money. As Haaland was last season. What did they pay 50-odd million for Haaland last season?
Yeah, but wasn't there a little nudge, wink with his father getting money? And
was it?
I don't believe that was just a straight 50 million.
Well, palms greased.
I would imagine so. I would imagine there's. I don't know. Maybe they got. Was it Dortmund? But it's Dortmund he came from. Or Bayern. Dortmund, wasn't it? Maybe they were offered some kind of buyback clause, or they got a percentage of his sell on if he goes, because he's always said that he wants to play for Real
Madrid
at some point in his future. So maybe they got a cut of that. I can't see them just letting him go on for 50 million on the nose.
Yeah, so yeah, McAllister for 35 million was cheap. I tell you what isn't cheap, the Jude Bellingham fee to go to Real Madrid. What was it? Somewhere in the region of 130 million?
Yeah.
The most expensive British player ever.
Have you seen, what's his brother called? Job? Is his brother called Job?
I think it is, aye.
Linked with Sunderland.
Is he?
Aye. Everyone, there's loads of people going, Bellingham to Sunderland rumours, and then when you click on it, he's little brother.
So, Mr. Bellingham Senior, who's your favourite son?
Yeah, imagine that. But,
is it the lad? Is it the lad at Real Madrid, or is it the Mackham?
Yeah. So that's another one that was spoken about. Like I said, just after our video went live last week, was that Yakuba Minter was looking like a likely signing, and like we say, one for the future. Now this next fella has been doing the rounds last few days, and it's Jean-Claire Todibo. Sorry, I'm terrible. I'll always get these names wrong. Todibo. I'll be honest, say that I don't know much about him.
Centre back.
Yeah, centre back, and that's all I know. Is that that's it? That's all I know. Plays for Nice. He's a friend of Kefram Turam, who is of interest to Liverpool.
Is that Lilian Thuram's son?
I don't know.
I'm sure we'd be linked with him as well. I'm sure it's Lilian
Thuram's son. We'll have been linked with him, but then Liverpool apparently hijacked the talks, because the talks were apparently, again, we don't know, but apparently the talks were going well for Thuram with Newcastle, and then Liverpool came in. But this Todibo, apparently the fee could be as little as 30 million euro, but they could be holding out for 10 million more, so 40 million euro. Is he a 40 million pound player, 40 million euro pound player? I don't know, because I don't know much about him. So this is the perfect time to say, if you know a lot about him, why not write down in the comments and tell us, is he worth that? Do you think he's a good player? Have you seen much of this player around? Do you watch a lot of French football? I certainly don't. And while you're doing that, you may as well hit like on the video so it shares it around, and all the other monks can see it all over YouTube. And then obviously hit subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified when we release new videos, pet.
Yeah, it's always difficult to sort of comment on centre backs and stuff like that. Look, when you don't
have highlight reels like midfielders and strikers.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like you only see defenders when they're conceding.
That guy who's been linked, who was linked to us and now is linked heavily with Manu. What's he called? Not Min.
Oh yeah, from Napoli.
Yeah,
the South Korean.
Yeah, everyone who's watching will know who you'll know who we mean. I'm having
He's a bit of a unit as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, proper unit. But some of his challenges have been, when you watch them. But also, I think, and I didn't check this, I wonder how many penalties he's given away, because some of those lunges in the box look like they had to be fucking pinpoint. So I wonder just how many penalties or free kicks he's given away in dangerous areas. Because obviously the highlight reel's not going to show that, is it?
Well, he's very highly rated, so if this Todibo is anywhere in the same ilk as him, I would be happy. But yeah, look, it's really hard to really say much on it. Like I said before, if you watch a little bit of French football, you're watching the goals going in. You're not watching the centre back's positional awareness, or watching how he's marked somebody out of the game. So you've got to sort of trust the scouts, the scouts on this one. And look, I can't see with the signings that come through the door this season with the backroom stuff that we've got going on in this. I trust them. Even though I've not heard the guy before my life, I trust them. I'd be like, oh, he's probably good.
Yeah, I do as well. I've got complete faith in. Look, we've had no flops so far. People say Chris Wood he wasn't really done the job that was needed, and then we recouped the majority of the money back to good old Forest.
Aye, they like to bail out. I saw digressing a little bit as well. Shelby wants away from Forest now.
Yeah, I know. Aye. A little one that I was just reading that I didn't get up. Apparently, what you call them? Fucking hell, my memory. I bought this book called Mind Over Medicine to try and heal myself naturally because my brain's not working. I'm going to try and have to do meditation and make my brain work. What's it called? Jose Perez. It's been released. It talks about would you take him back?
No.
For me, it's a no. Not even as a squad player.
No,
100% no. And I was a fan of him while he was here. He done a job during a depressing era. But I know you think I'm a little funny when I go on about this, but the way he celebrated when he scored against us, from that moment on, he was dead to me.
You're dead to me, Jose. You're dead to me.
He was completely dead to me. Speaking of former players, I'm gonna. This is probably not going to be expected. Saw this kicking about. Don't think you'll have even seen this one, Kevin. Could Tim Krul make a return to Newcastle United? Well, the reason that he could is a shock move for Krul has been touted on social media as a way for Newcastle to navigate the Champions League squad rules.
Tell me more.
So it must be because you played for a certain amount of time, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what that rule is. It doesn't go into detail.
It really doesn't go into detail, does it?
This is the Shields Gazette.
That's it. That's as much as it. As a way to navigate Champions League squad rules.
Yeah.
Didn't fancy seeing what the rule was.
Nah.
Just like maybe they're unsure themselves.
Maybe there's a rule in the Champions League where they might need Tim Krul.
I know there is a few rules about homegrown and how people qualify as being homegrown or what have you.
There's the rules in there about Scandinavian goalkeepers.
I don't know. I've no idea. If you know, good viewers, put it in the comments below. But what I will say, Tim Krul, I've always been a fan of Tim Krul. And
I'd have him back for the crack, like.
And every time he's played against us when we've been at home, he's always got a good reception. I've always stood up and applauded him when he came running over to the goal at the start of the match. Really, really like him. It just seems rough. I didn't fancy him.
Look, he's an adopted Geordie, isn't he? He's definitely an adopted Geordie. Him, Pavel Srnicek, and I'm trying to think of any other goalkeepers are kind of like adopted Geordies. Shea Given.
Shaka Hislop.
Shaky Hislop, aye. Yeah, so I mean, I'd have him back. Super duper hooper. No, he's definitely not Lionel Perez. No, I would have him back for the crack. Yeah.
If him just being in the squad means that we tick the boxes in the Champions League, then 100%.
Aye. I mean, I wouldn't play him ahead of well, certainly not Pope, but probably not Dubravka either.
No, I wouldn't play him ahead of Dubravka. But if we're going to be, for me, it would be domestic Cups, or if he had to sit on the bench during Champions League matches, then I'll be quite comfortable knowing if Pope got a knock during a Champions League game, that Krul could come on. I'd have no worries about that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that was just a.
I think I'll definitely take that one with a massive pinch of salt, though. I think the Shields Gazette were probably clutching at straws a bit there, like.
Yeah, and that is all the incoming transfer rumours and gossip we'll have for you today. Mm-hmm. But we do have a possible, although very cryptic, possible outgoing, and that is the love letter from ASM. I'm sure everyone's read it. I'll leave it on the screen if you want to pause it and have a read yourself before I take it off. But you've read it, I take it, Kevin?
I've read it, yeah. It's an odd one, isn't it?
It is.
And it seems to have certainly split the fan base, hasn't it?
I'll move that now. Last chance to pause it, guys, if you want to read it. Or you can go back and have a good read. I think it was on his Instagram story, so I don't know if it'll still be there. Well, it won't be. But here it is on the screen now. So pause and have a read if you haven't read it already.
Yeah, so it seems to have split the fan base down the middle. There's those that definitely want him to stay and don't want to see Maxi go.
That'll be me.
And there's those that are wrong. And diving out what they're on about.
Yeah. All the pies are definitely a Maxi maximalist channel.
Look, that
Ginger Piello on Twitter going all the Maxi stands. He's a fucking great player. He's
class.
Some of his dribbling is unparalleled, and he's been loyal, and he's got through loads of shit times by being absolutely wicked and entertaining.
Where were you when we
still do a job?
Where were you when we were shit?
Yeah.
He was on the left wing. That's where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely burning through the likes of Wolverhampton and Crystal Palace, causing absolute riots, and making me excited in a time when it wasn't very exciting to watch Newcastle United play.
Exactly.
And even now, like when we've made that bit of step up in the type of players we've got in the team and how we're playing, he's still not out of place. Yes, there's a question over his consistency. Yes, there's a couple of questions over his fitness as well. But look at when he's on form, like I want him in my team, not against us. Like I certainly don't want to see him to go into any team in the Premier League, none whatsoever. Because one, the sentimental side of us would be a little bit heartbroken. It would be like, it would be like seeing your lass necking on with another bloke. You know what I mean?
I couldn't handle it. Like it's no. It's to see Maxi in like a Chelsea shirt or something. I
thought you were saying I couldn't handle it if I saw our lass kissing another bloke, and then you went on to say to see Maxi in a Chelsea shirt.
However, Kev, look at me. Do you think a lass who's with me would want to be with anyone else? However, what about Maxi Divvy?
And she gets 2 for the price of 1.
I don't want him to go, Kev. I don't want him to go.
I don't. But I don't know, because like I've heard. I don't know how true any of this is, and this is just like sort of talking to people in the pub and stuff like that. People are saying he was having issues with his lass or something like that.
I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, no. So I'm not going to go into the details of it, but is this sort of like what's been the catalyst of him sort of opening up on social media?
Maybe.
Was it meant as a goodbye? Because when you start picking apart the actual the tweet itself, there's bits where you look where it sounds as though he's like, actually he's saying he's going to sort of fight and have a better season. But then there's certain things that he says where he's like, where he says like something along the lines, he's at the turning point of his career. You think to yourself, oh God, what does he mean by that? It kind of flip flops, and I don't know whether he's going. I wonder if he's going for like an emotional time in his own mind, because I was just quickly finish off. I was expecting the next day for it to be announced to say that he was going somewhere, and nothing's been announced. So I think this has took the club by surprise as well. I really, really do.
Maybe. Well, I'm going to read the last two paragraphs. This year has been one of the most difficult years emotionally. You're not able to know that as I keep personal things for myself, but I lost some really important people. And that is nothing compared to all the things that have happened in my life this year. But I always try to be present on the pitch and give everything. I am so proud of the team and that we achieved the Champions League. I am now entering a turning point in my career, and I will give everything until the end to achieve my dreams. It's often said that human beings forget quickly, but me, I won't be able to forget everyone that loves me for who I am and believe in me in difficult moments. It is in these hard situations that we see the real supporters. Thanks to everyone for the support. Whatever happens, I will always give everything when I have the chance to step onto the pitch. Thanks God for everything.
I mean, look at Maxi. The lad seems like a really complex character. He seems like, on the pitch and off the pitch, he doesn't really know what he's going to do next. He seems he's a very difficult one to read. I mean, there's times where I thought myself, oh, is he a little bit arrogant at times?
Oh no, I don't see that with him at all.
No, I mean like sort of in football in terms in the Ginola style, he really backs himself a lot of the time, doesn't he? And sometimes even when he hasn't been in the greatest of form, he's kind of maybe spat the dummy out once or twice, but then in the next week he'll go out and give somebody a Rolex. He'll go out with the fans and start giving them Rolexes. And he's a bit of an unpredictable character on and possibly seemingly off the pitch, because I don't know, has his agent told him to put this out? Is it just him having a bit of an emotional?
Doesn't strike me as something that an agent would compel you to write that. Like, nah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Family wise, something has happened domestically, which I don't want to talk about because no one knows. But if what some of the things have been said, I've heard them, then I can't imagine how hard that would be for anyone. So
yeah, exactly. So I don't know if us, I don't know if us as fans have put two together and got 5, but like when you were reading it out there, there's parts of it that does sound like a goodbye, doesn't it? But I thought you would have heard a statement from the club in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? Maybe they're talking to him in the background and saying, "Look, where's your thoughts? Are you wanting to be away? What is this about?
Well,
do you need any sort of other kind of support?"
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think he will have been not reprimanded, but definitely it would have been spoken about, and then they might have went into how they can help him with whatever's going on in his life. Maybe he's got things like that can trigger him. Got a mental health issues easily. God, we all know what mental health affects everybody, every single person. So I don't know, but
and just
talking about, but leaving that aside. Him as a player, right, on the pitch, would you keep Maxi, or would you be fussed if Maxi went?
Look, I've always been a Maxi fan. I'm a Maxi fan. I'm not saying he would play every game, but he's somebody I would definitely want in the squad for next season. 100%.
Have you seen the price that's been touted? 30 million.
That won't happen. They will not let Alan St. Maximin go for 30 million. Absolutely not. They'll not. There you go. And put me on record. Clip this up. He'll not go for any less than 45 to 50 million.
You couldn't replace Maxi with any other 30 million pound player. Can't be done.
He's not a 30 million pound player. No. Sorry, he's not a 30 million pound. He's Premier League proven.
He's not a 60 to 70 million pound player because he's inconsistently. He's definitely around 40 to 40.
He's about a. I've always thought him as about a 50 million pound footballer. Reason being, not just because he's Maxi and I'm biased. It's because he's Premier League proven. He's a maverick. right? You know what you're going to get from him. When he came to ourselves, what did we pay? Something like 16, 20 million or something like that. He wasn't proven. He's now proven in the Premier League, and you know, from take away. Well, no, I mean, you get into pretty much most teams taking away the Man City, Liverpool. I mean, he gets into our team, and we've just finished 4th. I don't know if he'd get into the Arsenal team, possibly. Everybody else would get in.
Yeah, well, the team is, who was it? It was an Italian team.
It was AC Milan, and Tottenham's the other one that I've heard people mention.
I don't want to say with Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
AC Milan, obviously, I'd be devastated if he left. But if you went to another Premier League team, I'd be fucking gutted.
Would it be like seeing your last necking on with somebody else, wouldn't it? You'd feel like heartbroken, wouldn't you? You'd feel heartbroken. Yeah. But I don't know if he would go to a Tottenham Hotspur, to be honest with you. Why would he leave? Shit. Well, they've got no Europe. Like, he's had no Europe, right, in a long time now, and he's finally at a team that's just qualified for the Champions League. Yeah. Why would he work so hard to get to this place and even mention something in the message about, you know, I still have me dreams and fulfilling me dreams, which is the part of the message that I thought, that sounds like he's talking about he wants to stay. It's confusing. But why would he then go off to Tottenham Hotspur, who've got no Europe? So purposefully take a step back. Wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen with Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, I'm going to finish it on this. That I don't think it's anything to do directly with just the club that this statement came out. And if there is hints of a move, I don't think it's anything to do directly with what's happened at Newcastle this season. I'll put it there, and we'll end that there, as we are at the 40-minute mark, and we've went through all we've got to talk about. So thank you for joining us once again. Please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe, comment below with your views on all the transfers we've talked about, whether it be Messi, Ronaldo, Benzema, or Todibo, or that youngster, got his name already, and your views on Maxi. Put them below, get a conversation going. Let's get this video around, and we'll be back again. I may be back earlier than Kev. I may be back with Davey doing My Favourite 11 later this week. Me and Kev still haven't done our season review yet. We'll get that done. But if all else fails, we will definitely be back around this time next week with another transfer rumour roundup and gossip video. So once again, thank you for all your support. We are so close to hitting 900, I believe, and then just a little bit more. We hit that 1K and feel all big and clever and braggy in that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for support. Love you all. Have a good weekend. Whatever you're doing, take care of your mugs. Bye.
Come on.